So we're just going to hang out and take a close look at the Nintendo Switch console. Not the Pro Controller, not the Joy-Con, which get a lot of attention, as they should. Not the games, not the system UI or online. But just the console hardware itself. I guess if I was being very literal, I would just have the Switch console portion itself. But if we're talking about Switch as a home console, a living room console for your TV, then it has to include the dock. So the two are one. So we have them both here. So let's start with taking a closer look at the dock. Used throughout the hardware for the Nintendo Switch, also on the main console portion, but also in the peripherals like the Pro Controller, is this textured hard plastic. It almost feels like a smooth stone. It feels great. The D-pad on the Pro Controller feels like a shaped and smoothed stone. And this feels very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the same material. It definitely lends the tactile sensation of value and stability. It feels sturdy and strong and like it's worth something. The Nintendo Switch logo here is not engraven, nor does it feel like it's sitting on top. I don't know what they did here, how they did it, but it doesn't feel like anything's there. And this here is the LED for when it's transmitting to the TV for TV mode. Two USB ports that I haven't used at all yet. And see, this is the stone-like textured plastic here and here. But this is just smooth, simple plastics on this side. We've got nothing on this side except the cutout for the wires in the back. On the bottom we've got a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo and rubberized feet, which are very grippy. It works very well for my setup. I actually keep the dock in a drawer under my TV, out of sight, and also it's the most dust-free place in my whole media setup. And no, I don't have any problems with Joy-Con connectivity. We sit anywhere from 4 to 9 feet away from the TV, from the Switch, when we're playing, and I haven't had any problems. And I keep the dock and the Switch in a drawer closed under my television. It does have, the back is open, so it's ventilated at the back of the drawer, and it keeps the dust away from anything that's in that drawer. It works great, and it looks like there's no console under my TV. I wouldn't mind having this out because it looks great, but I also like the simplicity of my setup. There's the inside of the dock. Little guides that guide the console to sit in properly, and then the connection. AC adapter, USB, HDMI out, and this is the USB that I use to charge the Pro controller. It's very nice that the Pro controller will charge when plugged into here, even when the Switch is not docked, unlike the Wii U that only powered its USB ports while the console was on. This one, the USB ports are powered whether the console is present or not. In here we have a cutout for the vent for the Switch, and this also is ventilated for the Switch. It's probably hard to see inside, but this piece in the back is placed for the vent on the back of the console. And now for the main attraction, the main console proper. I don't know exactly what material this part is made out of. The casing here, the frame of the console, but it feels like a metal. obviously gives off the vibe that it's metal because the thing is heavy. And then you also have the rails for the Joy-Con, which are metal, clearly. The bottom of the Switch, you have your parts that meet the parts inside the dock for guiding it to sit properly, and then the USB-C port. Power/sleep button. I have not powered down my Switch since I bought it. It's been a week now. Today's Friday. Obviously came last Friday on the 3rd. I've only been putting it to sleep. And it's a dream how quickly it works. I love it. Volume rocker. Air vents, which are part of these air vents. And the headphone jack and the game card slot. On the back we have more legal mumbo jumbo and a big, bold, and proud Nintendo Switch logo. You can tell this is a advertisement choice. It doesn't really mesh with the understated vibe of the Nintendo Switch logo on the dock. This is clearly high contrast to be seen by others, whereas on the dock it's subtle to kind of blend in with your home media setup. This is to be seen in public. I would have preferred a more muted logo here. I like having the logo there and having it large, but a little bit more muted for just to have it look more tasteful. But I don't mind displaying that I'm a Nintendo fanboy to the world when I'm out playing my Switch. And the kickstand. I have played a little while in tabletop mode. We have one TV in our home, and so it's usually when my wife and daughter want to watch anime, they kick me off the TV and I go to another room and play in tabletop mode with the controller in my hand. And this propped up on a shelf, and it works perfectly fine. Got my SD card up in ya. I just have a 64 gig SD card. I plan on going physical copies of games whenever I can. I like to collect physical games. But I have this for, the inevitable digital-only purchases. can see here. Okay, right here you have the right speaker and the left speaker. Right here is the light sensor. And that's it. Very simple, very beautiful display, very minimal. I think the bezel is an appropriate size. Of course, it would be cool if the screen was the size of the device, but affordable technology isn't there yet. Perhaps in a few years, when we get the next version of the Switch, we will get a little screen size upgrade, but keeping the device the same size and weight. Dropping the device into and pulling it out of the dock is far easier than I had anticipated. For some reason, I had thought it was going to be either feeling cheap and like I was hurting it when I was dropping it in or pulling it out, or I thought it was going to be more difficult. Like you would have to, line it up and set it in harder. But really, I have never, and I've pulled it in and out moderate amount of times. It's not every day this week, and it's not multiple times a day or anything. But the times that I've done it, I have never had a connection problem. It immediately shows up on the TV or pulls it down to this screen, and it's always felt great. And I don't see anything happening to the body of the Switch from the dock. My Switch is giving me no problems. I'm 100% satisfied customer.